Hello! Long time no see. Kind of unacceptable that I've been MIA for so long, but lots of things were going on. It's just been busy. We just moved from our apartment into our house, so woohoo for that. But I'm going to review today and do a first impressions of, drumroll please, Lancome's new Teint Idole Ultra Cushion Foundation. So if you are not familiar with this foundation, Lancome was kind of the first in the game to come out with the original cushion, like the more sheer coverage with a lighter finish. It has a dewy finish, you know the drill. But for us, you know, combination and us oily girls, or even just us girls who like a fuller coverage, those foundations can be kind of like, that's just not for me. So I was really excited when they came out with a full coverage. This is supposed to be a matte finish foundation. It does say oil free and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, which just seems to be the highest coverage. The shade that I selected for myself is 320 Bisque, which is a warm undertone. We'll see if that works. In the stick foundation, that worked out really well for me. In the liquid foundation, that was almost too yellow. So we shall see. This also says that it has an SPF of 50 in it. So one thing to keep in mind would be, my guess that's going to give you a little flashback in flash photography, because it does have such a high SPF. I've actually had this product for about a month now, and I've just been trying to find the time to do a first impressions and review of it. So it comes and it's got like the case here, which is empty. It's like a little empty case, and then you have your cushion available separate. The foundation runs for $47 United States currency. This is the sponge that comes with it. I'm probably not going to use this. I know it is designed, it's got like a velvet finish, but it's designed to be used with this foundation, and I'm not going to do it. I'm actually going to use a beauty blender, which if you have ever like watched any of my previous foundation videos, I normally only use beauty blender under the eye. So this is going to be a big deal for me. We're stepping out of the comfort zone. Things are happening. So you have to put it, or cover up the mirror. You actually have to put it in so it opens up to the side. That was confusing for me. And you'll see it's got like this little mesh on here instead of it actually being like a sponge, and then you press down on the mesh and the liquid will come through. I'm pressing in here, you can see the pigment coming out. Let's try it. This is actually like very lightweight, and the coverage seems like pretty decent. And the color seems much better. I don't know if it was maybe just that one liquid foundation I got in this shade, but the color was crazy. Like I'm talking, it was not just like a golden warm undertone. That thing was yellow. But this color looks actually very nice. First thought, like I'm actually very impressed with this. And I don't normally, like I like a full coverage, so it takes a lot to get me impressed. I'm using like the fat side of the beauty blender here. I don't know if you're supposed to do that when you use foundation, but it seems right. It doesn't seem like it's a super matte finish though. I will be powdering and concealing over top of this. So while I have you here, I also wanted to review a couple other products that I got that are new from Lancome. The Grandiose Liner and the Grandiose Mascara here. I'm just gonna talk about them while I finish up my foundation. I used them both today. The Grandiose Liner I was really excited about because I used to work in a store that sold Chanel cosmetics, and the Chanel Le Volume, like everybody talks about. Everyone who purchases it loves it. They just say like there's nothing in the world that compares to it. And Lancome is actually, like they're known for their mascara, but I was hoping that they would come out with something like that. And the brush seems pretty similar. This smells pretty good. Side note, this smells good. So I got my foundation applied. This seems like a good coverage. It does seem pretty radiant to me though, so we just kind of powder on top of that. So the mascara has more of a like comb bristle, which is nice, and it is so juicy. Like you open it up and it just sounds, you can tell a lot about a mascara by the way it sounds. Sounds good. I don't know, does that sound stupid? But I feel like you can, like if you open it up and it just sounds like you're gonna, not gonna be good, but it sounds super juicy. feel like it'll last a long time. And I love the original Grandiose mascara. I've used that in several videos before because I just feel like it gives such a nice look to lashes. And then the Grandiose Liner, I was very excited about. It's a matte finish liner. I have that on today and it went on so black. I was so impressed. This is kind of like a side note, which is actually like, at first I thought it was kind of negative. I'll just tell you anyway. So like I kept having to re-dip like into the liner and I was like, oh my gosh, why is this happening? And then I realized it's because it's got such a fine point that you have to keep kind of reapplying. But I actually thought that that worked out better because you can really get into like that inner lash line area. I think it'll be better for a lot of people. I personally like a very thick liner, so I did have to like, you know, really layer that on there, but I feel like for most people that would be wonderful. And a super beautiful finish. It was so black. I'm telling you, it was probably the blackest liner I've ever used. And I believe that one retails for $31 and the mascara is $32. So as far as like mascara and liners go, they are a little bit on the more expensive side, but I feel like the quality is there. You'll have to give them a try for yourself. And one of the things is with that Grandiose mascara, it has that super unique wand shape. I just got this powder all over my black shirt. Woo! So it's supposed to last you a lot longer. So maybe that like will be, you know, I think that kind of accommodates for the price. It's lasting you longer. You don't need to replenish it as much, so they charge you a little more. That makes sense to me. So I'm starting to put on like my contour, and I don't know if it's, I mean, I've used this powder before and not had this problem, but it's kind of starting to get like a little patchy on the areas where I'm adding more powder. And I'm noticing that like once I had that under eye concealer on, it just looks like neon white. I mean, I guess I'm not super complaining, it doesn't bother me that much, but that is something to keep in mind. Like I'm looking at this in the viewfinder and it's just like right under that under eye area. Who knew? A smaller brush seems to be doing like a little bit of a better job. It could just be that the brush I was using was maybe kind of funky. I don't know, just this one side looks kind of patchy and it's bothering me. Just gonna put on a little highlighter and then the face will be done. I am gonna set this. I know that a lot of people say not to like prime and set when you're wearing a foundation for the first time, so you can see how it really like is gonna react and work well. But my thought on that is that I will never wear this foundation in all seriousness without setting it first. So to me, if I'm not gonna set it, I feel like it's not giving it like a true test of how things are gonna be. So I'm gonna use my Ofra setting powder and then spritz up a little bit on top of it with the L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray, and then we'll be done. Okay, so I have my entire makeup complete. I'm getting ready to go to work. So I work, you know, far away from my home. So it's probably gonna be about 10.5 hours before I'm able to give you a final thought on how this wore throughout the day. After getting it all the way applied, with the exception of this one part over here where it did go kind of patchy, I am beyond impressed with this foundation. It took such a little amount of product to be able to get a full coverage. Now the only thing is, keep in mind that with those cushion foundations, they do have less in them than your standard bottle of liquid foundation. But even with that being said, so impressed. It had a pleasant smell, it's got a nice SPF to it, it had beautiful coverage, and with, you know, powdering over top of it, I just think it looks so good. So, I like stumbled there. I just think it looks so good. Even with it looking super bright on the under eye, I actually don't mind that. So I will check back in with you when I get home from work and we will see how everything plays out. So it's actually been about 11 hours since I filmed the application of this foundation this morning, and I'm sorry if you can hear my ceiling fan going. The ceilings here are pretty tall and I can't reach the little string to pull it down. Anyway, so it's been about 11 hours. When I got home from work, I actually forgot to start filming, and started cooking dinner. This foundation wore really nicely. I feel like it looks good. It feels very comfortable. The only thing is, I know I do get mostly, like most of my oil is gonna be like right in your T-zone because I'm very combination skin, and so I am getting kind of like dewy in through my forehead here and then down along my nose. I have been a lot more oily lately though, and I feel like it's because of the current moisturizer I'm using. So I feel like with this foundation already being like a little on the dewy side, plus the moisturizer I'm using, it just makes me quite a bit more shiny or dewy. It's not like slimy by any means, but it is more dewy than I would like. I like to be pretty darn matte. It didn't look heavy, it didn't look cakey. I just felt like it looked really natural on the skin, especially for being as full coverage as it was. And then applying it with the bottom of that beauty blender like I did, even though I don't normally apply my foundations with the beauty blender, I feel like it looked very nice. So overall, I have absolutely nothing bad to say about this foundation at all. It gives 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. I loved it. The only thing that could make it better would be if it was a little more matte, but again, with powdering it over, I had no problems at all. 2 thumbs up for the foundation, 2 thumbs up for that mascara, and 2 thumbs up for the eyeliner. This entire collection they came out with in the fall is top notch. So impressed. Round of applause. Woohoo, yay! All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try to film more videos more often so there's not such large gaps. If there's anything that you would like to see, and I have been really into character transformations and I've been reading a lot, so if there's any book characters that you would like to recommend to me, I can read the books and do the character transformations. I would like that. All right, well, thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.